Coast FM 963, 24 minutes past 11. I have the pleasure of having our local resident psychologist and ballet dancer, Carlos Camacho, here in the studio. I didn't know you could ballet dance, Camacho.
I didn't know either. It was something that was missing from my resume. Now I have it.
It's added in. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. You can call me Billy Elliot from now on.
Billy Elliot. Yeah, I've got to watch the movie first.
Beautiful movie.
Okay.
Great for boys to watch. Wonderful.
Okay, I have to get onto that one. Now, we're continuing on from last week's chat on near-death experiences, and I mentioned mine, where I didn't actually die, but I went into a deep meditation after a traumatic life experience, and then I was at this beautiful place. It was just full of love, and I think a lot of people have had those experiences. Have you yet, Carlos?
I don't think I've had the experience that most people talk about.
Yep.
Not directly, but I have had experiences of ecstasy, if you like.
Yeah.
I remember once I was in Uruguay, in the tiny country in South America, and we were on this beautiful little point, Cape Polonia, they call it, and there's no electricity there because there's a colony of sea lions.
Beautiful.
And it's protected, World Heritage, and there's only one little bar on the rocks. And I remember I sat there on the rocks with this full moon, and I had this kind of like experience of just what you could probably call sublime, something that I felt happy, but I also felt sad at the same time because I wanted people that I love to be there to experience it, to feel. I felt connected, and that was. I think it was just a moment in my life that I felt that. There was a few other ones, and I think I felt really connected to nature, and that was the experience I had.
Bliss. Because a lot of people have had those near-death experiences, and they're all different, aren't they?
They are, like we spoke about last week, and of course there's. When people talk about near-death experiences, and we did say that that's just a term we use, there is a bit of a battle between the scientists and the spiritualists.
Yes, and keep an open mind, you were saying last week.
That's right, yeah. I mean, if you look at it scientifically, you would say that the brain neurologically causes these things to happen. Yeah. Just like when people take medication or they take certain substances, that changes the way they see things. Yes. And so that happens neurologically in a certain point. So that would be the scientific explanation, that it all happens within us, within the brain. And we experience it. Then spiritual approach would be that there's a soul or there's a spirit within a body, and that spirit, that soul is capable of leaving the body, and that's why we feel that. Yeah,
so we have to be non-judgmental and just be accepted to both sides, the scientific and the spiritual side, to have a well-balanced point of view on it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think most people, like most things, of course, like whether it's a footy team or politics or any other thing, I mean, tend to feel attracted more to one than the other, of course.
I know that.
Yes, of course. It's what I think what is healthy to be able to sit back and understand someone else's point of view. That okay, I can see why you feel that, but for me, it works this way.
Yes. Yeah. Well, say a person is clinically dead on the operating table, and the brain ceases activity then, apparently, doesn't it?
That's right. There's a moment that passes that the brain continues after the body has stopped. Okay. I suppose being connected to life. So the heart stops and all activity stops within the organs, and the brain continues for a while, and it could be up to about 9 to 10 minutes. That's why it's very important for paramedics to get to that person. They can still revive the person, but there would be damage after about 9 minutes. If you've seen Flatliners, a wonderful movie from the late 80s with Keith Sutherland, where they're medical students and they decide to flatline themselves to see what there is on the other side, and they all come back with these stories, but karma gets them, and whatever they're doing to other people, they get the same results. So it's a nice movie, and it's obviously just an interpretation. But and they talk about getting them back before those 9 minutes. Okay,
because I've read stories, so that explains why they can then be back in their body and have those euphoric feelings if the brain is still active for the 9 or 10 minutes.
A lot of people see light and so forth, and they may well be something spiritual.
Yes.
Some people see themselves from above.
Yes.
That's very hard to do.
Yes.
Unless there's a mirror on the ceiling.
That's right. And some people I've read can be away from their body for an hour or something, and then they're back there and they're with these beautiful experiences, but they're back alive again.
Sure, and some people talk about a lot. And so the thing is that in operating tables, there's a lot happening, isn't there? There's a lot of lights and a lot of things, a lot of information that the person can receive while still not clinically dead, brain dead. So that scientists would say that's what people are hearing, are feeling, are experiencing. Now, a spiritualist would say, no, the soul the spirit is capable of going and coming back because it's a separate entity. It's that old dichotomy of body and soul.
And the cord's not cut yet.
That's right.
Yeah, so they can get back in. And your thoughts on astral travel? I had a message from one of our beautiful listeners who's very interested in that.
Very interesting subject. It's been around for a long, long time. We're not the first generation to talk about these things, and definitely not the first in our time. There's been hundreds of years, people in different cultures talking about these things, and again, I think it's a wonderful idea, and there's no concrete empirical evidence for it. But I think a lot of things there isn't empirical evidence for love either.
That's right. You just feel it.
We feel it. We know when it happens, and we also sense things, and those times when we open our eyes and we feel something's wrong or someone's watching us, we are connected with nature, with other things that we have no idea about through science as yet.
Yes, because you can speak to animals from your heart too.
That's right. Yeah. And astral traveling is one of those things that a lot of people in other cultures do that through meditation, and they feel themselves. Now, whether you can say absolutely that the spirit left the body and came back. As a scientist, of course, you would look at that and say, now what's happening is that you are visualizing that and so forth. So that would be one. But if the person experiences that and is capable of doing that, returning to the body, feeling at peace and making them a better person.
That's right.
Green light to you, my friend.
Fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, I'm speaking with Carlos Camacho, local psychologist. Thank you, Carlos. Your book launch is happening soon.
Yes. My part 2 at Tukley Library on Saturday, 24th of November. And I bought a couple of books to give away today from part 1. We haven't given away some in the last weeks, and I actually have an English copy to give out to one of your listeners who wishes to have it. And I also have a Spanish copy, limited edition.
Wow, we must have some Spanish listeners listening.
There's a big Spanish community in the Central Coast.
Okay.
We love the beach.
Oh, don't we all? Yeah, well, thank you. So are you going to give them away now?
I think so, yes. Whoever would wish to ring, they're yours.
Okay, first 2 callers on 4322 0072, and congratulations to the 2 people who end up getting the books. Great to talk to you today, Carlos.
I love this subject, isn't it? And I think we always fall short because it's so interesting.
I know, and we run out of time every week.
Let's continue. I think we're going to do a part 3 next week.
Part 3?
Where we're going to look at it therapeutically.
Okay, fantastic. All right, now this song that you've chosen, Carlos, to go out of the interview by Cher, and it's called Believe. Why did you choose that?
I love that song. You know, it came out in the late 90s. It opened the door for electronic dance music in the radio stations, and such a wonderful melody and beautiful lyrics. I had the luxury of seeing Cher live right in front.
Wow, where at?
When she was out, actually, would you believe, at the after party of the Mardi Gras.
Wow, that must have been fun.
It was fantastic.
She would have looked fantastic too.
She was great. She only did 6 songs in and out, and the best 6 songs, of course. But while she's 70 odd, and the energy she had, and she really feels this song when she sings it, and I absolutely adore this melody. It's a wonderfully mixed and produced song, and it opened the door. It was the pioneer to something great, and that's why I respect that as well.
Yeah, and also the message behind the song: believe in life after love.
That's right, and I think we should.
Yes,
because we have to believe, because that's very strong. Our belief and our perspective of reality is the most important thing.
That's right. And turning it the other way around, believe in love after life is a good way of ending our near-death experience talk for today, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks again, Carlos. His share on Coast FM at 26 minutes to 12.